This conference will now be recorded.
So on-premise versions, we have a cloud version and hybrid version. So on-premise, starting from the beginning of S4HANA, we have 1511, 1610, 1709, 1809, and 1909. Okay, and cloud versions, every month there will be one release. The recent release also 2011, I think it is in 2020. February month there is one. Second month of 2020 there is one release. It's a cloud version. Okay, so before that we have a 1912. So every year there will be one release for on-premise. So this year will be the last for the on-premise versions, and cloud they keep on adding some new functionalities, so enhancements or some changes in the cloud. So data changes or the existing routines or something they are making in the on-premise versions, on cloud versions. And hybrid is a mix of on-premise and cloud. So the main difference between the on-premise and cloud is, so if you go with such a client called Sony, okay, so the process is very complex. They are not doing any standard SAP standard business, so they are getting something from some third party. Say assume some orders are being placed from the third party system, and it will be converted into the SAP and creates a sales order. And delivery, for delivery it will go for a 3PL logistics, and from there an IDOC will come into the SAP, and it creates some outbound delivery PGI, and there will be a proof of delivery, and after that we go for a billing, and for accounting it will go to the some third party files or third party systems. There will be some print invoices will be getting printed, and it will save in some file net, maybe IBM portal. So this is a process what your Sony is following. So in such case, what SAP says is, since you are having some complex process, you better go with the on-premise. So on-premise, we have a flexibility, or we have a provision for connecting to a different systems, multiple systems, like inbound, outbound. We have a upstream and downstream. So all these things can be connected using the on-premise version. But if you go for a cloud version, it should be a standard way, and there will be no flexibility for the implementation partner or the client to modify or to build any sourcing. Means there you cannot create any sourcing from a different files or different portals or different systems to the SAP on cloud. And from the cloud also, it is not easy to build any logic or data flow for outbound. Okay, so that's the reason the on-premise and cloud, based on your business process. If your client is into a big complex architecture, you go for on-premise version. And if you are following a standard architecture, standard flow, then system recommends or SAP recommends to implement on cloud. Okay, so so since we are already into the on-premise version, now the next option is whether we are going for a greenfield implementation or brownfield implementation. So what is the difference? Greenfield is your client is into a non-SAP system and you want to go for a HANA. So this is a greenfield implementation. Okay, and brownfield implementation, your client is into a SAP system, either ECC 5 or ECC 6. Basically, it will be starting from ECC 6 till ECC 8 enhancement, any enhancement package, and they want to go for S4HANA. Then it is called as a brownfield implementation. Is it clear?
This.
So now, what are the options we have in the data migration? So whatever the implementations you are doing, either it's a greenfield or brownfield implementations, so we need to migrate our data from the legacy or from our SAP system, ECC system, to the S4HANA system. Okay, so the tools what we have is LTMC, LTMOM, we have a SLT, we have a RDM. So these are the tools what we are using currently in the S4HANA system for a data migration. So here, what is this? What are the uses of these tools? In which case we use LTMC, or in which scenario we use SLT? So most of our data, master data, okay, so either it can be a customer, or it can be a supplier, or it can be your condition records, or it can be your bank data, okay, your PL accounts, or it can be a cost center. So anything for that matter, either it can be SD or MMP, PPS, whatever the module you are doing. So when you want to migrate the data from your existing system to the S4HANA system, so we normally use LTMC. So this is a migration cockpit. It is called as a legacy transition of migration cockpit. It's a LTMC. This is the transaction code and also the cockpit. Okay, so when we use LTMOM, okay, before we go for LTMOM, so I think we already know that when we are migrating a data from any XML or any other platform into the SAP system, currently we are using LSMW, right, or BDC. If the standard SAP LSMW is not supporting, I will go with the BDC. So you may get a doubt like, so what is the feasibility of using a LSMW? So can we use LSMW also in the S4HANA system? So the answer is yes, we can use, but it takes a lot of time to build the logic in the LSMW. It is not as straightforward in the S4HANA system. Say for example, I have a greenfield implementation and I want to migrate my lot of customers into the S4HANA system. So basically what we need to see, when your data is from the legacy system or non-SAP system to the S4HANA system, so you need to run the LSMW either recording, because currently in LSMW we don't have any batch input session or any programming session for migrating the data into the S4HANA system. If I have a tool, I have a LSMW, but I cannot use that LSMW because of so much of complexity. So that's the reason SAP has come up with a solution called LTMC. It's a migration cockpit. It has everything inbuilt. So you don't need to worry about how I write or how do I do a recording. So it's nothing to worry. You need to just say the data, what kind of a data you want to migrate. And also one more option is, say I want to migrate only a business partner for sales. So that also is possible. If I want to migrate only customer data, that is also possible. If I want to migrate only vendor data for purchasing, so that's also possible. So you can just migrate a small quantity or small businesses or small business units in using the LTMC, okay, which is not possible when you're using a LSMW, and it's a recording method is very complex. So that's the reason we are always going for a LTMC when I am migrating it to S4HANA system. Okay, so now what is the use of LTMOM? So, and what is the difference between LTMC and LTMOM? So the main reason why we are using a LTMC is, so I need a flexibility to migrate my data, either it's a greenfield or brownfield implementation, to the S4HANA system without any hassles, or I can say without any complexity. Okay, SAP has given us one solution called LTMC. Fine. LTMC, your client may ask you, okay, I am using LTMC tool, that's fine, but I want a few fields in my legacy system. Can I build those fields into the S4HANA system? Say for example, when I'm migrating my customer, okay, so what we are using customer is XG01 or 02, right? So in the sales area tab. I have a billing tab where I am checking for a dunning. Okay, so this is a one field I want to be added in the S4HANA system also. So what is this? Normally when you will do, it is in a K and VV. So you have added some income. Okay. So this is some modifications, enhancement. Added some Z field. So you added a Z field into this K and VV table. Okay. So this is the existing process what you are using in S4 in your what you can say in your ECC system. Fine. So what I need to do to have this field in the S4HANA. So same thing you will do KNBV even in your S4HANA system also. So you will be adding KNBV field, whatever the field you have Z field, so that will be available in your S4HANA system also. So there is nothing here. So addition of fields is same how you are doing in KNBV. You will be having a include. In that include you will have some modifications. There you will be adding all the fields and you will save it and it will generate. Fine. But I have some 10,000 customers. Okay, so all this.
Santosh,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, you want to say in the LTMC there is no field addition in that? Only the field addition should be done in LTMOM?
Yeah, LTMC, we cannot do any modifications to the LTMC. It should be done only
Okay,
in the LTMC. So that's what I'm just coming to that point only. So I have
okay,
some 1,000 customers,
okay.
and these 1,000 customers are having this field. Okay, that jet field is available, Z field, and I want to add means when I'm doing a migration. So my source has LTMC, which is coming from the customer. My source file has this value, but my target file LTMC is not having this file or this field, because LTMC is a standard. It will not have any customizing fields, though KNVV in S4HANA has the field. But when you are updating into the KNVV of your S4HANA, you should be having also the field. So I have added the field, but 1,000 customers, how I can migrate? So what we discussed is LTMC is a tool, and the tool will be having Excel format file. In that file I will be uploading all the data and run. So this will directly go and hit into your KNVV of your S4HANA system. So that's fine. But first of all, the file what I'm uploading, whether it has this field or not. Obviously it will not contain this field, because this is your custom field and LTMC is a standard migration tool. So in such case, if I have such a requirement, I will be using the LTMC. Okay, it's a migration object modeler. So what does this mean? It means I have a source file with the KNVB, and also I have a target file with the KNVB, in the sense the target system. These two systems are having the Z field. Okay. In the S4HANA system using the LTMOM, so say for example, I want to migrate a customer. So I will create a project. I will show you how to do it. I will create a project, and in the source file, I have source to target mapping. In the source to target mapping, I will select this field and I will join the source and target mapping. So the moment I select the source and target mapping and save the LTMOM, and once you generate this, then next minute the LTMC also will contain the Z field. Okay. So the what is important point here is, when you have any Z field which is not available in your S4HANA system, but you need that as a mandatory, I have to update the source and target structure in the LTMOM transaction. LTMOM is an object modeler. So the moment I generate the object modeler and save it, it will automatically update your LTMC file. initially LTMC will not have any Z fields or contains any Z fields. So it should be done through LTMOM. Clear? Is it clear for you?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear.
So now I'm just going into the LTMC transaction. Okay, you can see a starting of a migration cockpit. So this looks like a network portal. Okay. So this is how the migration will be there. Migrate your data. Okay, migrate your data, and you want to create a file or you want to create one project. So you will be having an option transfer data from the file or transfer data from the staging tables. So it is nothing but it is you are giving an input file and this is using some tables. So you have a SLT or RDMS, so different options. So but you are using through file. So then you can name this file as BP underscore. I'm just saying some name. There will be a name and convention as per your customer or client requirement. But for our demo purpose, I will just say it's a. This is my ID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Santosh.
that will
Yeah, this transfer data from staging tables means, can you please give me one example?
staging tables. Say I have TV cable. So that is my document types, sales order document
Okay.
types. I want to transfer all
Okay.
those to the S4HANA system. I will be using a staging tables.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
See, anyhow, the migration, whatever we are doing, the example, see, we are uploading a flat file from the desktop, I mean, from the desktop to SAP system, right? I mean, HANA system.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
But we have two options, right? One from file and one from staging tables.
Yeah. So all
Yeah.
normally the master data should be coming from the table, the data file.
Okay.
Okay.
So someone will be extracting it and giving it to us.
No, no. The file I will show you how it will look like. So here the main difference is we have two options, and first one will be your normally the file input format and your staging tables. So we
Okay.
will discuss about the staging tables. So we will just go into the data transfer from the file. So I will select this and say create.
Yeah. And Santosh,
Yeah,
see, transfer data from file, similar like LSMW only. See, how we're going to create that file, and later on we're going to upload this the field, then we're going to run the file. So here, this is also in similar way. Yeah,
difference
yeah,
will be there. I will show you.
yeah. There will be a difference, but it's an upload one.
Yeah, but
No, difference
upload
is there. No.
no.
LSMW actually it's a 14 steps. But
Yeah,
here
Okay,
actually,
LSMW, you are creating a batch input or you are having a
hmm,
recording. So you are not doing
yeah,
anything
yeah.
here.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm doing, I created one project and this is my project name BP underscore one. So the moment I select, I save this migration object has come here, your migration object and on-premise version, enterprise scope, and you have a transaction ID. So just see the objects. Okay. So what is your object you want to migrate? So assume that I want to go for customer. I want to go for customer
Customer.
migration. Okay. Now I will be having a data here. For customer migration, what I need to select. So these are all the migration objects what we have. So I can just go here and standard view. So
Customer. You are able to see there, Santosh.
No, I want to just show you in your normal 1.5.11, we don't have any option for LTMC. Okay, so 1.6.10 we have 35 migration objects. So these are all my migration objects.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so predefined migration objects, is it?
correct. So you don't need to do anything. These are all predefined, readily available, instant. So in my 1709, I have almost 55 or 56. 1809, 1909, we have almost 105 objects. Okay. So whatever the object you want to migrate, everything will be available in the 1909, and few which are left over, those will be covered in your next release in 2020. Mostly it will be a September or October. Okay. So here I will just say 6 months. We'll see what happens.
We can see 3 customer objects. I don't know which is the correct one in that.
Correct. I will show you
Yeah.
once. So this is the customer object. You can see a dependency is a bank. Okay, just click on this object. Okay, so it is just asking us to migrate. Yeah, it is loading.
Similarly, we can do for rest of the objects also, right? Like when I mean supplier, GL
Yeah,
accounts, cost centers.
anything. So currently in 1909 we have some almost 105 objects in there, which are
Objects.
used
Okay.
across the platforms, across the modules.
Okay. Okay. Let me try with pricing conditions. How condition records.
Hey Santosh, how we will be doing this error handling? Suppose actually our files, a few records landed in error and we need to migrate. So again,
Correct.
we
I will
need
just show
to,
you. Yeah,
okay.
I will show you. So just see, this is the name of your object, and this is the project what you created. And there is a dependency. Just go into the project and see if I want to migrate a customer. So first of all, for complete data migration of a customer, so there is a object dependency bank has to be provided. So it is giving all the prerequisites, what you need to do before you go for a customer migration. And if you want any further documentation, this will be showing. In process, we have a customer documentation. So how you can migrate the data and what are the prerequisites, how do you follow, everything will be there in the process. Okay. So currently what I'm doing, I don't know what is my template. I can just download the template. So I can save it in my desktop application layer. So this is my template. Just save.
Yeah. Santosh, you clicked on the download template, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Download template, it will save in my desktop. I just saved it in my desktop, and this will contain all the fields. These are all the fields you have in your S4 HANA for a business partner. So it shows as a customer because you are migrating it from the ECC system or legacy. You call this as a customer. So this is what I have in my source chart. Okay. So the source chart is nothing but your ECC data or your general data in your legacy system. Okay, clear? Are you clear till this point?
Yeah. We are clear, Santosh. I understood.
Yes.
Yes, Santosh, one doubt. Previously in LSMW, we will be in the file itself. Actually, we can identify actually which are the mandatory fields and all. So here, do we?
Yes, we also have an option. What are the mandatory fields? I will just show you. So field list. If you just click here, the system will show you what are the mandatory fields. You say last name, first name, such term,
Okay,
and
everything with
have
the
a
asterisk.
mandatory.
Okay.
These are all mandatory fields. But you can change these mandatory fields in the LTMOM. Okay, so this template is driven based on the standard format of LTMC, but it's not required for you to follow the same file exactly. You can change. So maybe say for example you want a title to be populated as a mandatory. You can put it in the LTMOM. So the next time when you run this project, LTMC for that particular object automatically title will be shown as a mandatory. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Arun,
Hello. I lost you
Yes,
are you
also
sir.
clear for
because
this?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's clear,
whatever you
Santosh.
whatever you were telling, actually,
No.
I was not able to hear. Actually, your voice was breaking.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, this is a
Mm-hmm.
standard template what SAP has provided based on the LTMC
Mm-hmm.
setup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you follow this, which is nothing but in your legacy system, SAP system, so these are all the mandatory fields. So SAP is given this LTMC based on the ECC setup, standard ECC setup. But in case
Okay.
you have done some mandatory fields in your client, and you want to make them as a title has to be mandatory field now as per
Mm-hmm.
your client requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in your LTMC standard, you don't see title as a mandatory. So
Mm-hmm.
there can be a highly chance that the field will be missed when you are doing a data migration. So what you want to
Yes.
say, I want this title to be set as a mandatory. So in such
Mm-hmm.
case, you can update this in the LTMOM, and when next time when you generate the LTMC file, it will show title also as a mandatory.
Okay. Okay. And Santosh, this is one SAP's template, right?
Yeah, this is a standard template LTMC from the SAP. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have an option of creating one custom Excel sheet with these fields and upload it in LTMC?
No, custom means then the LTMOM it should come.
Your
No, not on
LTMC
the.
LTMC, you cannot create a custom template. You need to first update in the LTMOM, and next time when you generate LTMC, it will create this kind of a template.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
whatever the changes you want to update in the LTMC, it should be first done in the LTMOM.
Okay.
Okay. So this is my template. What I will be doing, I will just go here into the system. I have downloaded a template, and I will upload the template. And there are some fields: open, delete, download. We will discuss each one. So that I can go inside this file. Okay. So I will go to the tab. So general data. So this is my general data tab. So in the general data, this is my customer number. Either it can be your ECC customer or it can be your legacy customer number. Okay. So now you have to just refresh your memory what we discussed during the business partner migration. So when we started discussing on the BP, I told you I have an option for business partner can be either external or internal. How it is controlled? In the BP, when I'm creating the BP, I have an option that my business partner can be an external or internal. How this
Grouping.
external or internal is controlled?
Grouping.
Yeah, BP grouping, fine. So next
Yeah.
is when I'm doing a BP direct transaction, straight forward as transaction in the BP front end, I have an option to select a BP. But here I don't have an option to select my grouping. So here my requirement is I want my legacy customer. Okay, say I will just go. So what are all the options we have? So we have almost 28 entries and 1118 is there. So this is what we created. 2100. Okay, these two we have. Fine. So now 1020 I want to create, but it should be in this format. Okay, 1118. So I will say 1119, or I will say 1120. Okay. And I'm just mentioning this is a customer account group and this is a title S4HANA second iteration. Search term I will put 2020 and search term 2 maybe I will say Feb. Okay, so just go and see what are all the important fields you have to populate. Okay, so I will mention this as Bangalore and my country, and this is a state, time zone. So English is a mandatory. Okay, so next is if you have any general text, we can copy the general text. So here, if you just enter anything, then the text ID is mandatory. Say for example, here I am using 1120, so text ID also is required. If you did not enter anything in the customer number, so then this entire general text tab will be ignored. It will not update anything. Right? So if I have a requirement to update my general text, so I need to populate all the mandatory fields. But if I don't want this general text to be updated, you can ignore. Don't input anything. Even though the customer number is a mandatory, this is a key field. If the field is not, system will assume that this tab is not required. Okay.
Okay.
So next is I'll just go to the sales area data, and this is 1120 1709, right? What is sales information we have? TVK1, no? Sales information.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1710. Distribution channel. Okay, so I'll just go to
Go
I'll
to
say,
go go to BP and check it na directly. 118 customer, I guess.
yeah, I'll see it here in the K and VB. So 1710 1000.
Yeah.
So this is my customer group, sales district, sales group, ABC classification, customer price list, determination procedure, delivery priority, conditions, 1710 K and partial date, invoicing, SIF, location. So it will just look for all the mandatory fields. Okay, done. So if you have a requirement for partners, you can update the partners, or else you would leave sales organization text, company code data. So company code data is 1120 1710 and any other mandatory field. So reconciliation I will be there mostly. Yeah, so that I will use this one only. Fine. So I don't want to use a dunning data. I don't want to use any company code data, company text. So all this I don't want to use. Okay. If you are requirement, you need to use, or else you can just leave it. So now I'm saving this. Okay. So I've just saved this file. Now what I'm doing, upload, download template. Now I'm uploading the file. So what we are doing is, for this partner, whatever the partner I have, whatever the project I created, I have created one template. I'm not showing today's date. Saved the file, right?
I think you have not saved it.
No, I've saved, but the system date is 2018. Fine. Okay, so I say business partner creation, comment changes, okay, upload. Okay, so comment is required, I think. Okay. Okay, so I think somewhere this file was selected in a different one. So I'll change this format. Link was used in one that's
Hey Santosh, can we upload in text format also?
no, always it should be in XML.
Okay.
I think this is not the correct migration object.
That's what I told you. There are 4 customers. Which one we need to select?
Customer material customer. No, this is somebody has manually created. So
Yeah,
just
that's what it is saying. It's not the one.
Yes, mandatory. They so many people have changed the customer.
Can we identify it via the documentation?
No, the main problem is somebody has created the copy and they delete the original one. I think it's showing the copy in process. It's showing. Content focus.
If we delete that project, will it work?
It should work. But not sure, right? To delete it, that is a standard or not.
Yeah, correct. So we are not sure. The standard one, they copied the renamed, I think, and the original one is not there. So this is the one which we created as a customer. So they put so many things. Customer existing record for credit management, tile and branch code. So they created so many things. In process, just to see, this is what I created one time. This is a migration. Now customer is added. Show in process. So migration details. I will take.
Even this is also the object will be different, Santosh.
Migration object customer. See the documentation, what it shows. So do we have business partners? Okay, so let me try to download the template. Maybe there's a change in the template, I guess. In which XML format 1709 save. Okay, so there is a change in the template in 1909. Okay, so that is the reason I think this is not allowing us. Fine. So 1120 grouping. So we have a BP grouping. What is the grouping we are using? Slash and BP for organization. BP01, no? We used for BP01, right?
Yeah.
Second group is not mandatory, it will take automatically. So it's S4HANA. And what are the mandatory fields we have? So these are all the fields based on your requirement. You can copy all this data, or you can use, I will say India. So there is a language. Language is Indian. Okay. So we will see if it is updating or not. Okay. So this is what we have. I will just close this. Please just try to update this. I'm just uploading the file now. We have more XML format.
Where are they getting saved? Yeah.
So this is in the 30th moment. Okay, so I'll just move this from there to here. Okay, so now I just downloaded the template. There is a change in the template format from 1809 to 1909. So that's the reason I copied it from the 1809. That's why it's not taking. So you see the template, and you can either open this or delete the template or download the template, upload the file, activate, and deactivate and start transfer. So now the current status is I cannot delete it, or I cannot transfer it. So first of all, I need to activate the file, so which means it will go and save now. Now after this, you can deactivate or start transfer. So now let's go and hit start transfer. Now it will go to a different processes where it follows some sequence of steps. Okay, so it is validating the data. So in this step, what it does is it looks to the template, and it will not validate with your S4HANA system. It will just validate whether any mandatory fields are missing in the file or not. So if anything is missing, it will give you error at this stage. Okay, I think last time Arun was asking something how the error handling will happen. So there are 4 steps. In each step, error handling will be considered. So clear, Arun?
Yeah, click clear on that.
Okay, at first time it will take some time. So it was done, and now I'm just running it in the backend. So what it does is validation is done. So now it is updating into the next step. It is taking to the next step. What is the second step is it will check the content in the file, and it will try to map with your S4HANA system.
Santosh, see, you activated. Okay, then what did you do?
I just activated here. First step is I activated.
Okay,
Okay, and it will validate all the steps. So
okay,
validate the you have in your Excel file. It will go and
okay,
look into the file and see mandatory fields are missing. If
okay,
it will throw an, it shows, you can see sheet BP role is missing data that refers to this record from sheet general data. Okay, so it
okay.
says sheet is missing, BP role data is missing.
Yeah, yeah. BP role missing in the sheet.
So which means at the time of a data validation, you need to find out what are all the fields required for you. So there is some difference from 1809 to 1909. Okay, I will just go to the sheet again, or we can come back to the sheet. Canceling this process. Okay, so role, what is my customer 1120, and what role you want to update? FLCU00. Okay, so these two I'm saying. So now again I will come back to the steps. I will upload the file. I can deactivate this. Okay, so now I'm going to upload the file again. This is the second step. Now I'm just creating the file again and say select the file,
Activate.
right, and start transfer. Now again, it will go to the first step. It will validate the data. If any other data is missing, it will come to us and say it is data is missing. So during the first step, it has validated the data. So if any need or any change is there in the data in the file, then only it will go and validate, or else it will show, it will give you that this is already validated, and any errors it will throw here. Okay, so I'll just close. Oh, processing the file, so we don't have any errors. They're all just included. Okay, we don't find any error. If you find, you can just click on it. So there's nothing. So I will go to the next step. So what is the next step here? After the validating of a data,
Transfer.
I'm going. So next step is you want to confirm whatever the data you entered in the template. You need to just
Conversion, is
confirm.
it?
Yeah, it's converting your values. So digital payment. So this is a mandatory field. Just here. Digital payment token. The payment token is not required. I don't, is not checked. I don't want to check it. So we need to say token. Maybe there is a mandatory field, internal or external numbering. So click here and say we are using external numbering, right? Because I input value in the file, so it's external always. So use customer ID for integration with external system. I don't, because I don't want anything. I say no integration. So these converting values, the system will give based on the data you give. Okay, so this is my BP. I say yes. Logic. Say yes. We have two roles. So just confirm those two roles. Okay, so these two are the roles. I will confirm these two. Say yes and save it. Save it. So mapping of your country key. So in this case, maybe in your XML or in requirement, you are using India. S4HANA will not accept India. So you need to come and see what is the source is India and the target value is also India. So if you say INDIA, it will give you an error here. Say okay, and I will save it here. Same thing for language. Okay, so save this. So this step will compare your source file with a target system. Okay, so conversion is done. Now I will come here. So what you are doing here, process open step converting values I have converted, and if any errors are there, system will show. If not, I can go to the next step. Okay, it is running in the backend. So this time, whatever the input you have given in the file, system will try to simulate. So means it will not post the record, it will just try to post into the tables and see if the values are correct or not, or else it will give you error. Okay, so I'll close this. So there are errors like message for source record 1120 BP category 1 does not fit the data in category 2, and records cannot be posted to the target system. See previous message. So it says category 1 does not fit into the category 2. So we don't have FLCU01. So any mandatory fields or any mandatory fields? Looks like some mandatory fields are missing. Again, from the beginning, I'll just cancel the step. Okay, so I will it will take it will process immediately. Activate. So if you're using the same file, right? So system already validated the fields, not do the validation again, it will process immediately. Step, I don't find any issues. I'll just go back to the second step. Okay, everything is processed here. I can go to the next step. So there are no errors. Now it will try to simulate the input. BP category 1 does not fit the data in category 2. Okay, so this I will look into this. We will see it tomorrow. Okay, so it was 1909. This time I'm done. So I will just look into this error. I think there should be some mandatory field missing.
If the error is come, you cannot move next step, Santosh.
That will not post it. It says record control check backup system. See previous message.
Oh, if the error, okay, you cannot move with error. Next step.
No, it is a hard error. It will not allow you to post.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhakar, if you find out any new thing, let us know. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You will try to learn this webdine, bro. Do some debug background and suppress the error. Yeah.
I don't know yet. Arun is the expert in debug now.
Arun can debug like anything.
So fine. I will just try to find out the error. We will meet tomorrow.
Okay,
Santosh.
Santosh.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, thank you, Santosh. Bye.